Break with Rachel Vigil, taking a daily look at the biggest stories in Denver sports and interacting live with you, the Coffee Break fam. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of joe, and enjoy your coffee break. Here's your host, Rachel Vigil.
I just got reminded that I need to make sure that I do my fan football picks literally tonight before Thursday Night Football between the Chiefs and the Ravens. I'm so pumped. So we're going to do that all today because you guys, I definitely totally forgot about it. And it's time. Like, football season has very quickly appeared and here we are. I'm so excited about it. We're also going to be talking about how the Broncos can leave Seattle with a win, talking about the run, what needs to happen for Bo Nix, plus one of the things that Seattle last year struggled with that might benefit the Broncos. So plenty to get into. Join us in the comments, hang out for a little bit. Next 20, 30 minutes. Let's just talk some good old football. How pumped are you guys for tonight? I'm so excited. My dad actually after yesterday's episode, if you were tuning in, he was like, hey, for all of us nerds out there, like, we're pumped for fantasy football too. And yes, fantasy football is back. Pick'em is back. Everything is back. And it finally feels like fall here in the Mile High City. I actually woke up this morning and I was cold and I was like, wait a second, like, fall is very, very quickly coming. So pumped to get into everything. Again, hang out with us in the comments, but let's get into a few things that the Broncos can do today or this week against the Seahawks to be able to come out with a win. Because right now, everyone's betting on the Seahawks to come out and get a victory. Geno Smith has obviously been getting better and better. He looks good, dealt with some health issues a little bit over the offseason, back out there. But I feel like a lot of the stuff is kind of self-explanatory to a sense. But there's also like little details that can prove that, yes, this is what Sean Payton and them should do when they're looking at the game plan. I'm going to be curious to see what ends up happening, of course, on Sunday, but I cannot freaking wait. Let's get into number one thing. Don't ask Bo Nix to do too much. It seems really simple and really easy, but it's kind of the truth. Don't ask the rookie quarterback to go out there and be Patrick Mahomes. Like, let him get comfortable, especially first and early. The first quarter for Bo Nix is going to be a lot of emotions. It's going to be a ton. So my key to that point is the people around Bo Nix need to be the guys that are really going out there and making a difference. Like, don't ask him to do too much. The offensive line needs to be stellar, especially for the first half. Like, be stellar, go out there and protect your quarterback. Let's not start him off, having to run a whole bunch, because then the anxiety is coming in and we're really thinking about things. So if everybody around Bo Nix can be really stellar and, just kind of extra prepared, then it kind of takes the pressure off of him to just have to focus on what's in front of him and not have to think about too much. He is obviously a professional. He made it in the NFL. He's got a long college career. Like, he knows how to play ball. Let's not forget that. But it just needs to be one of those things where the guys around him, a Mike McGlinchey, the offensive line as a whole, Cortland Sutton, Javonte Williams, they've been here. They've done that. They've played this game for multiple years in the NFL. Take the load off of him for just a little bit. Obviously, the Seahawks have a new head coach. The first time in 14 years is Mike Macdonald. It's going to be honestly really hard to not get Mike McDaniel and Mike Macdonald mixed up when you're just talking about him. But Mike Macdonald, obviously first-time head coach with the Seahawks, looking to bring a little bit of that defensive oomph for the Seahawks as well. But he's going to add the pressure. We saw him do that with the Ravens. He's going to add the pressure when it comes to the rookie QB. It's not going to surprise me if they are going up the middle a ton, forcing Bo Nix to run off to the sides and to scramble. And that's where things can get a little bit dangerous for Bo Nix too. We know he's fast, which is great. We know that he can run the ball, but you got to be able to avoid the sacks too. If they do bring the pressure up the middle, he's going to have to go to the sides, unfortunately. And that's where the edge rushers can come off and get him. So as long as the offensive line can really stay solid and the pass defense can be solid, then it'll be good for Bo Nix as well. So I'll be kind of excited to see what they did. One thing that Mike McDaniel did say about Mike Macdonald, see, I did it again. How many times do I say the wrong name today? How many times, or one of the things that Mike Macdonald, said about Bo Nix is that he makes really fast decisions. So it makes me a little curious of like how often they're going to blitz him. I don't think a ton. I think that they know that they're going to be able to probably get to him a little bit early. So I don't think we're going to see a ton of blitzes coming from the Seahawks defense. But the fact that he notices that he does think pretty quickly makes me think that they've done a little bit of scouting reports, right? Like, they know what they're going up against too, which will be really fun to see, just what Sean Payton puts together to make Bo Nix look really solid. But two, just the fact of like, okay, if you know he's a fast thinker, he's going to get the ball out there quickly. What are you going to do defensively and scheme it up? So that's one thing I'm really looking for. Checking some of the comments. Let's go, Bo. Gino sucks. I don't think Gino sucks anymore. Wait, I'm going to throw this comment up here really quick. I don't think Gino sucks as much anymore. I do think that they finally found what works for Geno Smith, right? They were trying to make him a different quarterback, and I think they finally have figured out what really works for him. So I don't think he sucks. Is he a first rounder or Hall of Fame quarterback? Absolutely not, but I don't think he sucks. Let's see. Good morning, Rachel. Bo time. Bo believe. God bless Bo Nix and Bo Broncos. Wow. So many Bo's. Bo's. Yes. But don't ask Bo to do too much. That's my only thing, please, this week. Just don't ask him to do too much. Allow him to be comfortable with the game plan. Don't go out there and expect to see Patrick Mahomes. If he does, that's fantastic and amazing and great. But just let's slowly get him in the mix, do the things he's comfortable with. In the preseason games, we know that the playbook was essentially, drawn out for what was comfortable between all of these quarterbacks. Now, obviously, Bo Nix, it's his time to shine. Start him off with a lot of those things and then start to build in some other stuff. So, yeah. See, Geno is mid. Not great, but middle of the pack won't win you games. Could when you're going up against a rookie quarterback. I'm hoping that's not the case, but I feel like Geno Smith has finally just started to come out a little bit more, right? We've seen him get a little bit better, but yeah, he's still not like that first round Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm not saying that at all. Reading some more. Seattle won one more game than us last year. People are seriously underestimating the Broncos. First of all, I love this take, but actually a lot of people, 97% of bettors for BetMGM are betting on the Denver Broncos to make the playoffs this year. I feel like we're no longer under the radar, which is almost a better place to be personally. I think I'd rather be under the radar and everybody come out and be like, oh yeah, they look really, really solid. But now it seems like Bo Nix, he popped off in the preseason and people have high expectations for him, which can be good and a bad thing. You can live up to those or you can unfortunately drastically fall from them. So I think that will be one of the interesting things for sure to see. All right. My number 2 thing that the Broncos need to do. So number 1, don't ask Bo Nix to do too much. The guys around him are really going to have to step up. And I already saw one comment about this one. Just kidding. I clicked on the wrong thing. But the next one is win the battle against DK Metcalf. Now you might be like, you guys, they're not going to throw to Patrick Surtain all that much, which is true in a sense. I do not think that they will be tossing the balls at PS2 100% of the time. I don't think that's going to happen. However, I do think that they're going to test it a little bit. I think you test it a little early, see how Pat Surtain's doing. He's coming off his big contract extension. Is he feeling himself a little bit? I do think that they're going to test it a little more than people probably are expecting them to. But here's the deal with what Pat Surtain and Sean Payton need to do, and Vince Joseph. You need to have Pat Surtain follow DK Metcalf the entire game. I don't care what is happening elsewhere. Have him follow him. That's what they did in 2022. Pat Surtain won that battle between the two of them. They were calling it like the unicorns. Like, which unicorn is going to shine more? Is it going to be DK Metcalf because he's a beast and he's giant and he's massive? Or is it going to be Patrick Surtain because everyone's talking about how great he is? Patrick Surtain ends up going on to win that. Okay. The other important part of this too is if you can have Pat Surtain immediately tackle and stay on DK Metcalf, right? Where DK Metcalf really, really shines is the fact that he's able to bring down the ball, but he's also able to get yards after the catch. Pat Surtain is really good about staying locked on his receivers and being able to stay on them and immediately bringing them down. If he can do that, then they can limit DK Metcalf. Even if he gets a few catches, which we will see, right? It's going to happen. But if he can limit the yards after, that's where I feel like it could be really beneficial. So that's why I would love to see PS2 stay locked on DK Metcalf a ton. I feel like in the NFL, a lot of the times we don't see it too often when one player will follow somebody the entire game. But I would really like to see that this week against DK Metcalf and PS2. Plus, it's so much fun. The other important part of this is Tyler Lockett, obviously another veteran. I believe he's going into his 10th season this year. He's been questionable. He's been dealing with a little bit of a leg injury. Now, they are expecting him to go this week, but still, when you got a little lingering injury, you never know what can happen. Sometimes you can't be as fast off with your foot, exactly, all of that kind of jazz. So I do think that because of that, just one area that DK Metcalf could see a little bit more action than maybe if Tyler Lockett was 100%. You also got Jackson Smith. I know I'm going to butcher his name. Jackson Smith Njigba. I hope I got that right. If I didn't, please comment down in the comments and be like, no, Rachel, you need to say it this way. He's a solid wide receiver, though, obviously for them. I think he's been really fun to watch. And I do think that we're going to see this next level when it comes to him. And last year, I mean, he was on average getting 10 yards a carry or 10 yards a catch. So like, that's not bad at all. So he can be another one of those guys. So you got a questionable Tyler Lockett. You got DK Metcalf, who's going to be on PS2, the best corner in the league. And then you got Jackson Smith Najigba. I hope I'm saying that right, you guys. So I feel like they are loaded. They have a lot of depth too at wide receiver, which will be interesting when it comes to Riley Moss and how the secondary is going to look. Right. I think he's going to get a lot of looks. PJ Locke has to be stellar. But yeah, that's my other note, is to beat DK Metcalf. That was what I wanted to do. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. I see all of your comments coming in. PS2 doesn't have to shut down DK, just slow him down. And I love this comment because 100% right. Like, he's going to get some of the balls. He's going to catch some of these things. That's just who DK Metcalf is. And he's ginormous and massive. Probably will say that a million times on this show. He is that guy. But if you can just limit the fact that he can get a few extra yards after he brings it down, I think that that can be really beneficial for this Denver Broncos team. So love that comment. Would it be smarter for PS2 to take Lockett and double team DK with other guys? No, because I do think that they can essentially, PS2 can lock down DK Metcalf. They did it 2 years ago in 2022. He can be that guy and level up to that occasion. Allow the other guys, like I mentioned, PJ Locke, or you got McMillan, or you got Riley Moss, to be able to go out there and just take on the rest of the field. So take down their number one guy with your number one guy, and then I think you can double team in other areas. Let's see. Seattle expects us to be conservative because Bo's a rookie, but I hope we come out aggressive. If there's one thing about Sean Payton, that he's going to come and have like some trick up his sleeve. I truthfully believe that every single time. So it would not surprise me that they would come out aggressive. I've also said this all offseason because we saw it in OTAs. We saw it in minicamp. We even saw it in the preseason. You are going to see a lot of Bo Nix throwing 5-yard passes straight up the middle. Like, that is what this offense is going to build around. He is a fast thinker. He gets the ball out quickly too. It's going to be what I've called quote unquote boring, but is it really boring if you're able to move the ball? So I like that. I see it a lot, but like, people want the exciting 40-yard touchdown passes, right? Like the ones that are like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. That is not going to be this Denver Broncos offense. Unless Sean Payton just completely changes everything in his mind, that's not what you're going to see. It's more going to be the quick passes that get out, get you 5 to 8 yards, boom, 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 move down the field, which isn't a bad thing. You're scoring touchdowns. So at the end of the day, Riley Moss will get tested more than PS2 against the Seahawks, 100%. He's going to get tested all season long. He's going to deal with the struggles, and he's got to be able to forget the last play and just be able to move on. So yes, Riley Moss will definitely be getting tested. Let's see. Any other comments before we go on to the next one? Denver's young players should run circles around all the old guys in Seattle. Wait, I haven't actually really thought about this, but Jennifer, I love this comment. Yeah, I mean, Denver is young, right? And there is something to be said about being a younger team, especially compared to the Seahawks, is you got speed, you got the athleticism, even a little bit more. So hopefully they are able to run circles. I just haven't put a whole lot of thought into the fact that, yeah, we know Broncos are a young team, but Seattle definitely is a little bit older. So for sure. Bo, death by 1,000 cuts, Knicks. I like that comment. No major injuries, please. Yes, we need to avoid any sort of injuries for sure. This is what I've been saying, though. KC led the league last year in screen passes. How'd that work out for them? Great, right? Like, why is it such a bad thing? Yes, I call it boring football because, again, everybody wants those 40-yard passes that everyone's like jumping out of their seat screaming. But what's wrong with the 5-yard passes? Like, who cares as long as you're able to continuously move the ball? You want the chain gang to get a workout in. That's what you are hoping for. So, yeah, I love that. Thank you for that comment. Okay. So somebody's betting on first play, play action, deep ball to Mims for a touchdown. If that happens, you come back here and I will send you a coffee. If that is the first play of the Broncos offense, I will 100% buy you coffee. So write that one down. Everybody mark it down. I will buy you coffee if that ends up happening. Brady also became the GOAT by short passes. I don't think it's a bad thing. I really do not. So I like it. Let's go on to our next one, though. This was supposed to be number 2, but unfortunately my graphics were a little out of line. Is run the dang ball against the Seahawks. That's all you got to do. Okay, just run the dang ball. One, that takes pressure off of Bonk, which is going to be massive. Allow Javonte Williams to carry that. And a lot of people are predicting that the Seahawks are going to get out early, which is going to force Bo Nix to have to throw the ball, right? To be able to try and come back. That's what a lot of experts are predicting. But if you can consistently run the ball from the get-go and have Javonte Williams start to get hot, have Jaleel come in and start to look good, Audric Estime, we might see a little dabble of him in there. Allow those guys to be able to carry the load for Bo Nix. Boom, you're looking solid. That means Bo Nix doesn't have to do too much, which goes back to my number 1 point. Plus, and it's hard because this is a different Seahawks team, right? Week 1, these type of conversations are hard to have because you don't know what the team's really going to look like. But Seattle was terrible with the rush last year. They really were. They did not do well at all. So run the dang ball. I want to be Sandra Bullock and say, run the dang ball. That's all they have to really do. And hopefully they are able to move the chains, which would be massive. But also, like I said, just take the pressure off of Bo Nix. The more you can do that, the better it is. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say that, but I feel like that's the biggest thing. Yep, running the ball. See? Here the comments come. I said run the ball more last year. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen because you had Russell Wilson, who loved to have crazy passes and get himself in trouble. Running the ball will keep Geno and DK on the sideline as well. Yes, that's so true. Eat the clock up as much as you possibly can. The Seahawks allowed the second highest rushing yards per game last year as well. So again, different season. I understand that things are going to look different, but they still struggled in those areas. Test a name we're all pretty familiar with, Draymond Jones. Test him. They did have Jonathan Hankins, I believe is his name, which will be able to provide a little bit more for them. But ultimately, Javonte Williams can start to get hot. You got your thunder right there. Jaleel McLaughlin, if he can be your lightning, give you a few extra bursts of energy and some speed, I think that the Broncos can be really good. But they got to get out to it nice and early. And again, just going back to don't ask Bo Nix to do too much at all. Let's see. How are you guys feeling? Let me know in the comments. Do you think the Broncos are going to win on Sunday? Are you feeling good? I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like I've talked about this a little bit. It's just, I don't know how I feel about Sunday. We're going to do my picks here in a second because I desperately need all of your help to do these. But I am a little nervous about it. I'm not going to lie. Also, this is another main piece about the Seahawks is they were really good at moving the ball last year down the field. They were good. They were able to do that, but they could never capitalize and get the touchdown. So they settled for a lot of field goals. If you can capitalize and not allow them to do that, and again, just kick 3 points, boom, in the uprights, then that can really help the Denver Broncos team too. Allow them to, tire themselves out a little bit by moving down, but also just getting the 3 points and limiting touchdowns will be massive. I see people are saying Broncos 31 to Seahawks 17. I like that. What are some other score lines you guys got? I'm very, very curious. I also want to add in, let me see if I can do this. My King Supers pick 'em. Let me see if I can just put it up on the screen for everybody, because that would be nice too. Actually, let's see if I can do it this way. I can't believe we're doing this. It's crazy. Oh, I can. Should we do my pick'ems, you guys? Because I need help. Help me. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on 1 second, folks. Let me log in and we can do pick'ems. Please let me know because I'm very curious. I need help with my pick'ems. I'm so bad at it. I really do just suck. I'm not good at all. Is it doing this for me now? Maybe not. Log in. Save changes. Are you guys also doing pick'ems? Please tell me you are. Please put in the comments if you are, in fact, please doing pick'em, because I would love help every single week for us to do it for sure. Baltimore tonight. Okay. Gosh, it's so hard. I want Baltimore to win tonight. I hope it's a good game. I've been telling everybody, I'm like, I think it could come down to easily the fourth quarter, right? I think the NFL is going to start us off on such a hot note. It's such a big, it's just such a big game and such a big rivalry in a sense. Like, I know they're not really rivals, but Lamar versus Patrick Mahomes, like, this is it. I'm so excited. Yes, people are doing pick'em. Yay! Please keep pick'em coming. That makes me so excited. I'm really pumped. Let's see. I promise I'm going to get this back up. You guys are probably like, she is just jabbering away. I am. I just wanted to hang out with everybody. It's been fun. Yesterday, we had such a fun show, too. I loved all of the comments coming in. It was just so easy. Okay, window. Here's my pick-em. Let's do this. Please help me out. We're gonna come to tonight's last. So, yes, please hold off. I'm going to roll with Philadelphia. Also, how about everybody picking? Did anybody see Peter Schrager's Super Bowl picks? I was really surprised by it because he is the Kansas City Chiefs winning it. I feel like everybody's expecting them to three-peat, but he had Green Bay representing the NFC, and I thought that was fascinating. Excuse me. So I'm going to roll with Philly tonight. I'm going to roll with Atlanta. Buffalo or Arizona? Definitely Buffalo. Are we buying into the hype of Caleb Williams? Let me know in the comments down below. Are we buying into the hype of Caleb Williams? Oh, I'm actually really excited to see his first game. I'm excited to see how Chicago welcomes him. I think it's going to be, like, we're talking about Bo Nix pressure. This is a whole extra level. The only good thing that Caleb Williams has going for him is that he's at home. He's in front of a crowd that's going to be so excited for him, and Bo Nix has to go on the road. Let me know. Should I go with Chicago? I will go with Cincinnati. I'm also riding the Houston CJ Stroud hype train, so love that. I'm going to take Miami. I'm going to take New Orleans. Minnesota or the Giants. I'm going to take Minnesota. The Chargers or the Raiders? I will take the Chargers just because they're at home. I think that they're finishing 3-4 in the AFC West. I have the Broncos at number 2, but I'm going to go with the Chargers. Caleb has to prove it just like Bo. No, Caleb has never won at any level. That trend will continue. No hype. Chicago sucks. Okay, so who are we taking then? We're not taking Chicago. You guys are going to roll with Tennessee. I'm still reading these comments. Tell me if I should take Chicago or if I should take Tennessee. Please, please, please. We'll come back to this one after. Don't hate me for that. Dallas or Cleveland? I actually am going to go Cleveland. I'm going to go the underdog on that one. Tampa Bay, I will roll with. Detroit, we'll roll with. Detroit, man, I think they're going to have one heck of a time. Tennessee, okay, I'm going to go with you guys. I feel like that's a little bit of a risky move, but I will go with Tennessee. San Francisco versus the Jets. Aaron Rodgers on Monday Night Football. I'm going to go 31-27, San Francisco versus the Jets. Okay, we got 2 more that I need to pick, I think. So Broncos, Seattle. Oh, dun 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 dun. I don't know what to do, you guys. Oh, don't hate me, Broncos country. I'm sorry. I really hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with Seattle. I'm going to do it. If the Broncos were opening up at home, I would 100% take it and go Bo Nix, but I do think that they're going to apply a lot of pressure to Bo, and I think he's going to have to run, and I think it might get a little overwhelming for a smidge. And I just don't know my trust in the offensive line. That's my biggest thing is I don't know my trust in the offensive line just yet. I want to believe that they're going to be so much better, but truthfully, I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm going to go with them. And then tonight, KC or Baltimore? Which one should we go with? Dun, 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 dun. I'm reading all of these comments. You guys are cracking me up. Haha, your first loss. They will protect Bo. I hope so. I hope the offensive line really helps him. Baltimore, Denver over Seattle. Bears D is suspect just like last year. And the Bears are always questionable. I'm going to go Baltimore. Okay. I feel good about this. Do you guys feel good about it? Are you helping me? Hopefully. fingers crossed. I'm really curious. We'll see what ends up happening. So you guys, that's going to do it though for us hanging out today. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for doing my pick'ems with me. Maybe we do this every single Thursday. That way I don't forget because I'm pretty bad about it. I won't lie. But make sure you tune in Orange and Blue today as well. Cecil Lammy, Andrew Mason will be on at, I believe, 4:30 because the Broncos locker room ends a little bit later. But there's plenty of good stuff coming. Check out denversports.com. They keep you updated on everything happening with the Broncos, the Avs, the Nuggets. I know it's been so Broncos heavy here. Obviously, we're going to have the Avs and the Nuggets ramping up here very soon. I believe on the 13th. I might be getting that wrong, is when training camp for the Avalanche starts. So that's going to be here so soon. I'm so pumped up for it too. I don't want to believe that the Avs window is closed. I really don't think it is, but we'll see. So I'm excited. King Henry running all over Casey. I'm so pumped. Please, if you're watching the game tonight, come chat with me on Twitter. I'm going to start like a little thread type thing. So let's talk. I love you guys all so much though. It's always so fun. Thank you guys for just letting me hang out and talk football with you. Thanks, Rachel, for your service to Broncos country. With a mile-high salute. I will see you guys later tomorrow. We talk who ends up winning on Thursday Night Football. Love you all. Bye.